Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Sarah Gargel, and I work with the Living Archives Project, where we are collecting stories of how COVID-19 impacted various communities in Mecklenburg County. Today is November 16th, 2022, and this week there are 127 reported cases of COVID-19 in the Charlotte-Mecklenburg County area, which actually shows a 23% increase over the last 2 weeks. Therefore, both Bunny and I are comfortable not wearing a mask today. Bunny, will you introduce yourself?
Alrighty, I am Bunny Gregory. I'm an artist in Charlotte. To describe myself, I am a middle-aged woman, light brown skin. I like to call it cappuccino. Large, short dreads, probably shoulder length, but super large, only 10 of them. Freckles, and not too many wrinkles. And a big smile.
I love it. You have a beautiful smile, Bunny.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for describing yourself and for joining us today and for talking with us. We appreciate it. Bunny, how long have you lived in the Charlotte area?
I am born and raised in Charlotte.
Stop it.
So 57 years.
That's amazing. Oh my goodness. You probably have been through so many changes.
Yeah, I get lost. I was driving the other day on right here downtown.
Yeah.
And hit a block and thought, did I make a wrong turn? And it took me a few seconds.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you say is one of the most drastic changes of Charlotte that you've seen in the last 57 years?
The trees. We used to be a place that when other states talked about us, it was about how clean and beautiful Charlotte was and how many trees, that there were lots of trees, and I don't feel like there's lots of trees anymore.
Yeah. I know how that is. I come from Michigan where we have a lot of trees, a lot of green. And I still say it's pretty comparable here, though. There are some beautiful trees.
There are. There really are. But I've definitely had the opportunity to see a lot of stuff come down.
With all the construction and all of, I bet. It's definitely sad to see that it changes the nature around us.
It does. I mean, I still love it. I love Charlotte, but yeah.
Well, we did this little activity together before we started the interview called a hand map. Would you share your hand map with us a little bit?
Sure. Okay. Anywhere you want me to start?
No, wherever you would like to.
Okay, so fingers, I have compassionate, creative, grandma, forgiving, and resourceful. My lines, my palm, the survivor, artist, mom, and forgiveness, or some journeys I've definitely taken. My wrist, how I feel about just the word COVID makes me feel segregation, anger, and reflection. And then my support was definitely my kids. They are very supportive. They don't always understand, but they're supportive. The art community that I am in, my grandkids are super supportive. My best friend, who is an artist as well, and myself. And then just at my thumb was peace and self-sufficiency.
Those two things that you gained,
Yeah.
peace and self-sufficiency. Wow, those are really, really insightful and thoughtful, especially when you talked about the 3 thoughts or feelings when you hear the word COVID-19.
Mm.
Would you share a little more about those with us?
Absolutely. So segregation came to mind immediately because, in this kind of space and time we're in right now, I feel like we've gone so backwards with just community and unity, people being together and like embracing one another's cultures and whatnot. I think we've taken a few steps backwards. And it was just one more thing that we were able to segregate ourselves with. So I felt very segregated from people. The mask, the wear a mask, don't wear a mask argument, the shopping, the lines. It was bad for a while.
Yeah, I can imagine.
The other word was anger. People were angry, like for no reasons. I worked at a grocery store, and people were angry because we didn't have bags with handles anymore. Like just everything.
Just little things, huh?
Little tiny things that did not matter.
Yeah.
Just didn't matter. Like bags didn't used to have handles. What's the big deal? You can still carry your groceries out.
Yeah.
Even with that, like picking fights with people who didn't have on a mask or people who did have on a mask. Everything was absolutely a valid reason to fight. It was a lot to handle for me.
I can imagine. I bet very disheartening too.
And completely disheartening. Just it was sad because knowing all the stuff, all the things, kids with no food, teenagers wanting to go to college and couldn't afford it, people losing their jobs, or not even losing their jobs, just jobs having you to kind of hang on, hopefully, and wait. Even the jobs, like small businesses shutting down, and we're fighting about the handles on the bag. Like,
Man.
yeah, it was hurtful. It was a lot of energy put into a lot of mess.
I can't imagine. And I'm so sorry that you had to experience that, especially you were an essential worker during that season where we couldn't leave our homes.
Right.
And it seems like people were taking their own frustrations and personal experiences out on whoever they could. And at that time, it was those who were serving us and sacrificing so much for the community. So first, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for your sacrifice, Bunny, because you got up every day and you did what you had to do, and you showed up to work even though it was so difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry you had to experience that.
Yeah, I love the store I worked in. I'm not there now, but I mean, I don't know. I just wish people had handled it better. It just made me realize what a nation of spoiled brats we are, that we've become. So, my other word was reflection, and that word came to mind because I definitely had to. I did still have my job, and we definitely had plenty of hours. But seeing all the people around me losing jobs and needing things, just the way things were going, it really made me take some time to reflect on what I really wanted in life. Like, I love Trader Joe's. That's my store, but that is not what I envisioned myself doing.
Yeah.
And what I realized is in the art community that I was already in, there was a lot of reflection going on. A lot of people quitting their jobs and like throwing themselves into their art, whatever that was, their music, poetry, really, really putting their time and energy into that and making that happen. And a lot of them are doing very well. I feel like, I mean, I'm not making a lot of money, but I am definitely happier than I have ever been. So I hate that COVID happened, and I certainly hate a lot of the stuff that came with it. But I think it was that kind of just that universal or heavenly wake up call you get sometimes to say, hey, maybe it's just time to do other things.
Yeah.
So
Sometimes it gives you a different perspective.
exactly.
Right. And so it kind of was an awakening for you to
Yep.
get back to what you loved.
Yep.
Which is art. Can you share that with me a little bit?
Yes, I I started even before COVID raising money to acquire a school bus
Okay.
and create a mobile art studio
That's amazing.
for children who didn't have money for camps and classes. And I mean, there's lots of stuff for kids to do, but it's not accessible to all of them.
Yeah.
So we finally got our bus and we just hit the streets and do stuff with the kids in the communities.
Wow.
So
that's incredible.
it really just, it's nothing. It's just an old school bus, and we threw some paint on and put some supplies on, but the kids absolutely have a blast.
Oh man. So do you go to specific areas around the city?
Right now it's mostly through different programming with other like 501(c)(3)s or some different museums, McCall Center, Vapa Center, different places. But I am upfitting the bus so that I can go to just be in the neighborhood.
Okay. And what kind of activities do the kids get to do on the bus?
Well, of course, they love the paint.
Of course.
There's always chalk. Every now and then we'll hook up the projector, but we have to, which is another reason I'm upfitting it, we have to have a dedicated power source.
Okay.
So doing that. Hopefully after the first of the year that'll be all set up and ready to go. But sometimes some of the other artists come on and do whatever it is they do with the kids. So they may be drumming or dancing or just whatever. Like, they
so cool.
don't care.
Yeah.
They just seem to be so willing to participate. They love getting dirty. They love the fact that they start off like there's definitely walls they can draw on and stuff. So that it takes them a moment, because in your mind, you know, you're not supposed to draw on the wall.
Yeah.
But when they realize that it's okay to spill paint or write on the wall or, you know, drop whatever, they just kind of let loose. So
that is so beautiful. Just giving them that opportunity to not have to control
exactly,
everything, but be creative.
To be creative, just to be creative,
yes,
and not worry about anything
just be a
else.
kid again.
Yeah, and the adults love it too.
Yes.
So.
Oh my gosh. So tell me, do you work with people of all ages then? Kids
I absolutely do. We encourage adults to participate when you bring the kids on.
Yeah.
Like, we want everybody to participate.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And do they?
They do. They have a blast.
Good.
They get so excited.
That's amazing.
Yeah, they do. So, yeah, we have a good
I
time.
love that. You're just bringing, I bet it's so much, it's just joy.
It is. It is for all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're usually, if we have an event, say from 12 to 4, we literally don't usually leave for another 2 hours.
Stop
Yeah,
it.
people just won't stop coming.
Yes.
So,
Oh my goodness.
yeah, it's good.
And how often do you get on the road?
Depending on what's going on, it can be as much as 3 times a week. We are, the hope is that once we have our own power source on the bus, that we'll be going out at least 5 times a week.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I really want to be able to just show up at a different after school program or whatever. Just at I'd love to be able to show up at maybe the women's shelter,
Yeah.
just places like that where the kids just need some relief. They just to unwind and not think about crap.
Yeah, for sure. Throughout the lot, so you started this 3 years ago?
October was 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
that we got the bus. But I actually started it before, like, the bus came from donations and just getting people to give and whatever they had. Sometimes it was as much as $1,000. Sometimes it was only $5.
Yeah.
But it helped us get the bus.
Yeah.
So 2 years before that, I bought a little red truck.
Okay.
And we built the sides up and wrote on the sides and packed it with tubs with art supplies and tables and stuff. And then would just kind of do the same thing.
That's
just
amazing.
show up somewhere and let the kids just go crazy.
Yeah. Throughout the last 2 years, is there a story that just really touched your heart working with the kids or with an adult?
I will say, oh my God, I get kind of emotional all the time, every time I'm working with them, because of people's reactions. But just recently, and this was nothing to do with anything I was doing, I think it was just another one of those universal wake-up calls. So I left home with my mom, promised her I would go to the doctor with her, and we set out, got there on time, new doctor, and I always stand in line for her so she can sit. So stood in line for 15 minutes. Mind you, I was already in a pissy mood because I had been waking up early. And I forgot. I totally stayed up all night, forgot I was going with her, woke up early. Now I'm standing in the line. Find out 15 minutes later I'm in the wrong line.
Oh, no.
We go to the right floor, stand in line another 8 minutes. And this is, the time is a testimony to my crappy mood because I'm literally telling you, I know I was in line 15 minutes. I know I was in line the second time 8 minutes. Then we got to the front of the line and realized now we're too late for her appointment. And her, I'm sure, sensing my completely crappy mood, like, I had honestly decided that this was the worst day in the world, and it was not. She rescheduled, so the options were she could reschedule, or she could wait an hour and a half, which I would have, but I think, like I said, she probably felt like, oh, I'm not going to make her wait, let's just reschedule. And it was absolutely the best thing that could have happened, because my mom and I got on the elevator with 2 women and this beautiful little girl. She must have been maybe 2. and one of the women is holding her, and just all happened from the second floor to the first floor. We're just cordially exchanging good mornings. And the whole time we're talking, the child is literally just like kind of looking around and smiling, and like she's seeing or hearing something weird. And the one lady that wasn't holding the child said to us, "This is the first day she's ever heard sound."
Oh.
And I lost.
Oh my god.
Even now, my eyes.
Me too.
I absolutely lost it, and we were crying, and my mom is praising God and laughing. We're laughing, and the more we laughed, the more she laughed, the more she smiled, the bigger her smile got. And I just immediately thought, she's never heard herself laugh. And I was done, just done. And that moment and moments like that make me really happy, because there's definitely times where I don't have money or supplies enough, but somebody always comes through. Some artist that I work with always calls me and goes, "Hey, Miss Bunny, I got all these canvases. They've been sitting here. I'm not using them," or "I must have 3 giant tubs of paint." Something always just works out. And it really made me think of just seeing how happy that child was.
Yeah.
With something that's incredibly major.
Yeah.
I get to see that with the kids all the time.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's simple. It's not a big deal to me. It's a bus, and it's paper and crayon and paint. But it took me a while to realize that this might be the first time they've actually gotten to do this. They don't get to do this. They don't get to sing and learn to drum on African drums or go work in the garden. Like, it's that for me. So I guess most of these moments are that story for me.
Yeah.
So.
Wow, thank you for sharing, Bunny. I'm getting teary-eyed over here.
No,
That was beautiful.
Yeah,
So beautiful.
kid, it was like one of the most incredible days I have ever had. Just to think that even our voices, and I hate the sound of my voice on videos and whatnot, and just that my voice was one of the voices that she was smiling and laughing and happy to hear.
Yeah.
So.
Really, wow, it just makes you take a step back and just be like, wow.
Yeah.
We take for granted sometimes the simplest things.
So much.
You know, it's eye-opening.
It is. It's just not that serious.
Yeah. And just the spark of joy.
Yeah.
Is what we need in our lives. Like you said, a lot of people, COVID kind of made people take a step back and be like, are you being fulfilled in whatever you do?
Right.
What brings you a glimpse, a spark of joy? And for you, you found that in art and in people and connecting with kids and giving them and their parents a moment to express themselves creatively.
Yeah.
And that's beautiful. How did you get interested in art?
I think I've always been interested. It was kind of a dark period as a child where some stuff, just my father molested me. Being able to close myself in my room and draw and make things completely helped me to get through it. I don't really know what it was. I've always drawn.
Yeah.
I've always created things. My grandma taught me to use an actual sewing machine when I was 6. She made quilts, and she taught me how to sew the squares together. And I still have that machine, and it works. It's a great machine. But yeah, like just being able to shut myself in my room, and I would make little rag dolls and doll clothes and draw stuff. So yeah, I I definitely thank God for just having, I don't even know what to call it, just that creative
nature and you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was definitely an outlet for me. It helped me to survive.
Yeah. And you are giving a piece of that to so many around you. And I'm so thankful for that.
Thank you.
So thank you. Tell me a little bit about your family. You have kids and grandbabies.
Oh, God. I got a lot of kids and grandbabies.
Yeah.
I have, so I only had 2 kids. And when I met my husband, my youngest child was, I think Kenji was 3. And my husband already had 6 kids.
Okay.
And after we got together, I found out his whole family was incredibly fertile. Very fertile. So 4 of his 6 lived with us. So that was 4 of his and 2 of mine. And then one of the children's friends, we became friends with their mom. Not anymore. In the beginning, it was more acquaintance because of the kids and, wanting to know parents and whatnot. But she asked if her 2 could stay with us for about a week. And I had the young man for 4 years until he joined the military. And the young lady for 6 years. And so they are just a part of our family dynamic, but I now have 34 grandkids.
Wow. That's
and
amazing.
1 great-grand. So,
wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. Just before COVID, and we're trying to start up again, we had a game night every other Wednesday. And there would be anywhere from, say, 25 to 45 people or so in the house.
Oh my goodness.
Like, trying to play. I don't think we ever finished one game. It was lots of kids and lots of cousins. And
I bet.
Yeah, it was crazy. And I miss it. It was work. Yeah. I miss it. We have these 2 giant stock pots that somebody gave us. So those are our game night pots. Like we'll make spaghetti or there's a couple casserole dishes. We'll do 2 or 3 casseroles or chili beans or something so everybody can eat. But yeah.
I love that. Are you guys thinking of starting it up again?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
We are.
One day.
We also, it seemed like it's becoming a tradition. I don't know how this happened. This will be the 4th year that we bring in the New Year's with my son in Minnesota.
Okay.
And we all stay at his house. So usually from Charlotte there are 3 to 5 carloads. And there can be as many as, I think the most adults was last year. There were 14 adults and 21 kids.
That's amazing.
All in the same house.
But it's chaotic,
oh, it's
but also precious.
Crazy, but it's fun.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm glad he doesn't ask us to help with the water bill.
Yes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I can imagine. Man, I love that. Such a big family. That's beautiful.
It is. It is. I can remember being like, oh my God, when are they going to grow up and get out? And I miss them. I do. We fought and we yelled, and it was good though. We had lots of good times, and
Yeah.
just having stepkids that call me and care about me, and even my father-in-law, my brother-in-laws call me all the time. It's good. It was worth it.
I love that. That's beautiful.
May I ask, how did you all stay connected? It's such a big, close family. How did you stay connected through the pandemic?
They are, my husband's family are definitely family oriented. Even now it's the same thing. It's like, even though there's a pandemic, my brother-in-law will call me, and I know when he calls I'm gonna have to be on the phone because he'll talk forever. They just will. They'll call. I definitely knew that this family cared about me. That it was never, even when my husband and I would be at odds, they would never pick sides. They would just, like, you guys just need to get it together.
Mm-hmm.
But they were, even with my kids on my side, nobody would ever know that they're not blood relatives. So they're just those people. I've never not been included in everything. I get family reunion information. I get birthday party information. I get yelled at if I don't show up. They've never not included me.
That's lovely.
Yep.
You mentioned in your hand map that one of your support systems the last few years was the art community here. How did they show up for you?
Well, I started I had a physical building, I guess. Oh man, it's been like 12 years ago, if not more. Called the Underground, which is where the bus idea came from, because I set out to look for other black artists in Charlotte. And growing up in Charlotte, that was not something that was very prominent.
Mm-hmm.
There was, if you were hanging out with artists, excuse me, you were quote unquote doing white things. Like, my friends I grew up with and went to school with would say, like, you're always hanging out with, like, white people, or those weird kids, like, because they were artists. And I know that my family thought I was a little weird. Creative was not necessarily a way they thought of me. I was just weird.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't your normal black kid.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't until I got older that I realized I was. My family was just like other people, other families, where you latch on to these societal norms,
Yeah.
and that's what you think things should be. But anyway, I opened this space, and I really didn't expect to get much attention or flow at all, but the kids started coming, and they started meeting each other and creating allies and working together, and that place was full all the time.
I love that.
We had a bonfire, and we call it a bonfire, BOND,
Mm-hmm.
every Tuesday night, and they would show up rain or shine. And the first fire we had, it was just kind of a core group of artists that were there all the time. So it was about 11 of us. The last fire before we left the building, there were over 100 people.
Wow.
And it was like that every Tuesday, whether they had to go to work the next day or not. And in doing so, I wish I had known more about business.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would have loved to have kept the building going because it didn't just become like a hub for artists. It really became a community. I realized that there were a lot of artists that were homeless. There were a lot of them that were not eating or regularly bathing. So the hallway, one of the hallways in the building, I created like this huge closet. I just put shelves up in the hallway and a hanging rack and put clothes like hand-me-downs from myself and other people, clean T-shirts. I tried to keep like a package, different underclothes, just random sizes. Like every now and then, if I saw something on sale, I would grab it. And then there was a food pantry. It wasn't even anything we set out to do. It was just like the kids would come and they would bring stuff and just leave it. So it just kind of happened. So if they needed to go to a job interview, they could find something to wear in the closet. They could press it. They could wash up. If they needed to just put on a clean T-shirt, they could grab a T-shirt. The same thing with the food. Like if somebody was hungry, there was always oodles of noodles, or sometimes we would, the guys that farmed or worked at the community gardens, they would always bring stuff.
Yeah.
So we might have like a giant salad or a giant bowl of guacamole or something and chips and day-old bread from the pantries. So they would just bring what they had and everybody would just kind of share it. So it ended up being like this kind of food pantry. And none of us set out to do it. It was not a plan. It was just everybody just kind of helping each other.
Wow.
And it was the same thing with art supplies. Like people would come in and want to do some work on something, but they didn't have supplies, and another artist would just be like, "Oh, there's stuff in the." We had a basement, and we'd all leave stuff down there. Just they were painting on everything. They were painting on pallets. They were building their own canvases. So there was always stuff.
It's so amazing.
Yeah, and we had a good time.
And do you still have underground?
I don't. We are here now.
Okay.
It's what I realized is after we lost the building, it was a couple years, and I thought one of the young men, I had a space and he needed a room, so I rented a room to him. And he asked could he have a birthday party, and he did, but he put out a flyer and he put the underground on it. And what I realized was the underground was wherever I am, because they thought it was like a new underground, and the house was packed.
Wow.
I had to like ask people to leave. It was so, and then every week after that, I was getting calls from people like, "What are you guys doing this week? What are you guys doing?"
Yeah.
It's like, this is, it's not the underground. But yeah, like, so now even at the house, we still have bonfires every first Friday at the house. And just sometimes they'll bring their equipment and we'll have music and poetry and stuff.
That.
Yeah, so it's,
So you do have the underground. So wherever you go, the community.
Yep, they follow, and they have been super instrumental in what's going on with the bus, because I couldn't have done it without them, like raising money for the bus. The artists would just come out and perform for free, and
It's amazing.
Petra's on Commonwealth is just an amazing group. It is still one of the only bars that would allow the black kids to perform, because everybody has this idea that rap is so volatile and troublesome, I guess. And Perry at Petra's would always allow you to perform. So he allowed me to do fundraisers there, and the guys would come, the DJs would DJ for me. They didn't charge a thing. And even Petra's, there were quite a few times where whatever money they made at the door, they would give. So
It's amazing.
yeah, it's an amazing community. It
Yeah.
really is.
Do you find that with this community and your passion for art and kind of building up Black artists, do you feel like that's grown here in Charlotte?
Absolutely, absolutely. It is. Oh man, grown exponentially. Like it used to be so hard to find a group of Black artists like doing anything collectively, or like you would see people here and there,
Mm-hmm.
but not like it is now. It's amazing.
That's
It
amazing.
really is.
Truly. If you were someone that wanted to experience more art from the Black community, where would you seek that out in Charlotte?
Definitely here at VAPA.
Mm-hmm.
There's a huge community of Black artists, musicians, dancers, huge community, which I was very happy when they first started talking about this. Um, the diversity here is amazing. It's Obra Collective,
That's amazing.
which is Hispanic.
Yeah.
But here. There's also Brooklyn Collective.
Okay.
Oh man, there's so many now, which is beautiful.
Yes.
The Arts Factory at Johnson C. Smith.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Love
They're
that.
popping
No,
up
those
everywhere.
That's great. That really inspires
Yeah.
me and really speaks to all the work you're doing, Bunny, to kind of invite more of that.
I love it.
I love it. To honor your time and to respect you, I'm going to follow up with one more question, and it is, do you have an experience or a story that you want to share with us, an additional, over the last 2-3 years?
I don't know. I can honestly just say my experience over the last 2 years has just been kind of a journey of change for me. Just stepping out on faith and leaving my job and just knowing that things are going to work out. Like, they are working out. I could not have imagined like having a studio space or having a bus and being able to literally just hang out with the kids and enjoy doing what I love doing. So I don't know. I guess the story is just don't let being older be the deciding factor in not starting something new.
Ooh, that's a good word.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bunny. Thank you so much for sharing a piece of your incredible story with us.
You're
You
welcome.
have been this has been so incredible. So thank you.
Cool. Thank you.